Hello, everyone. So you are with me again, Mom Jenny. Yeah, or to those who are new to this channel, I was a licensed professional teacher last 2022. So I am doing this. It's because during my time, kasi when I was reviewing, every time I pray, I always I actually promised God na, kapag ibibigay niya sa akin yung lisensya ko, I will give back, to others. And that's why here we are. Kasi alam ko sobrang, lalo na yung mga nagsa-self-review or to those who find time to study on their own, kahit na nag-review center din sila, sometimes it's really hard to look for resources. So my major po is English, and I have my own panel coaching. I hold it on my page. I have reels and techniques. You can search Facebook and YouTube exams Jenny. Okay, so anyway, focus natin tonight are actual Gen Ed items. This is part two. Yung part one, I will put the link in the description below. Okay. So take note that Gen Ed is 40% for the BE Ed, because 60% is the professional education, right? And then for the BS Ed naman, 20% yung Gen Ed, 40% yung Prof Ed, and another 40% for the major exam. So some people would actually, they will not study Gen Ed that much kasi 20% lang naman, and to them is madali lang naman. But actually, nakadepende siya. Nakadepende siya. Like a lot of questions will be asked. For example, saan daw yung mas mahirap? Is it Gen Ed or Prof Ed? Actually, nakadepende siya. Sometimes, yung Prof Ed, it's situational, so pwede mong i-analyze and you can always choose. But yung Gen Ed, it's like a very specific information. Na kung hindi mo alam yung sagot, hindi mo talaga alam, right? You cannot try to analyze or whatsoever. Okay, so that's why we should not take it for granted. Okay, so general education, it can help you pass, or it can also contribute kung bakit ka mafe-fail sa exam. So as much as possible, take every category seriously. Okay? Kung para sa'yo, madali lang yung Gen Ed, do not take it for granted. I-perfect mo. I-perfect mo yung Gen Ed. If you feel like madali lang sa'yo, i-perfect mo. Do not take it for granted. Okay? All right. So let's start right away. Kapag makita nyo dun sa tanong, which idiomatic expression that means something is an easy task. It means that, or the idiom that is fit is piece of cake. Okay, piece of cake. Again, if the question there is about an idiom that means an easy task, it means, or the idiom that fits is piece of cake. Okay, so for example, merong sobrang galing mo na sa isang bagay. And then someone will ask you to do it, so you'll be like, yeah, sure, it's just a piece of cake. So ibig sabihin, for you, it's very easy, right? Like, sobrang galing mo sa math, so you'll say, yeah, mathematics is a piece of cake. Something like that, okay? So, the saying a piece of cake means something that is very simple to accomplish. Okay, so sobrang dali lang sa'yo. Actually, we have a lot of idiomatic expressions that also means very easy. So you have the word, there's nothing to it. You can also say it's child's play. Yung expression na a walk in the park. All right, so mathematics is like a walk in the park. So ibig sabihin, sobrang easy lang for you, okay? Another expressions would be it's not rocket science, or I can do it with my eyes shut. So they mean the same with the words piece of cake. So ibig sabihin, madali lang. Okay? Next one, kapag nakita nyo doon, ano yung least common multiple ng 3, 6, and 8? Sagot nyo is 24. Okay, least common multiple ng 3, 6, and 8. Sagot nyo doon is 24. So yung 24 is the lowest number that can be multiplied by these three. So defined as the smallest multiple that two or more numbers have in common. Now, Philippine Arts, please answer NCCA. NCCA. Yung iba kasi, yung isasagot is NCAA. So please know, double C, okay? So bakit ba? Yung NCCA kasi, it means the National Commission for Culture and the Arts. So it formulates and implements policies and plans that will conserve and promote the nation's historical and cultural heritage. So yan yung purpose niya, to conserve and promote. Okay, kung ano mang meron sa atin. So, NCCA, okay? Not NCAA. Double C siya, guys. National Commission for Culture and the Arts. Next one, the leadership of people with talent or competence. Sagot natin doon is meritocracy, okay? Meritocracy. So, people with talent or competence. So kapag sasabihin nating anarchy, there is no political institution, like everyone has freedom or usually voluntarily lang yung lead sa kanila. If you say aristocracy, these are or this is ruled by the highest class, by the nobles, the elites, yung mga mayayaman. Okay. If you say monarchy, I think ito yung sa England, right? The royal family, king or queen, yung ruler nila, it's called monarchy. If you say democracy, that's what we have in the Philippines, in which we people have the power to choose who our leader is. Okay. And oligarchy naman, a rule of few persons or families. Okay. But kapag rule with talent or competence, that is meritocracy. Kapag no political institution, anarchy. Rule by the elites or the nobles, aristocracy. Okay. Royal family, monarchy. Democracy, or no, yeah, like people. Um, unknown people. People will choose, right? And of course, rule of a few persons or families, that is oligarchy. Okay. Next, let's proceed. So prose and poetry, they are considered as literature. Prose and kapag may prose and poetry doon, isagot nyo is literature. Okay. So yung prose kasi it's a form of written or spoken language na walang, walang form, walang rhymes. It's just, yeah, an ordinary grammatical structure. So for example, yung human conversations, textbooks, lectures, essays, newspaper articles. So prose ang tawag natin sa kanila, okay? Kasi kapag may form or may bilang, then that will be poetry, okay? So it conveys thought, describes a scene, tells a story in a concentrated, lyrical arrangement of words, diba? So usually binibilang natin yung pantig with a poetry, right? And how many lines do you have? So that's poetry. But kapag kayong free naman, that is prose, okay? So anyway, prose and poetry, they are literature, okay? Next one, kapag nasa tanong doon kabiseras, sagot natin is reduction. Reduction. I'm not sure how to pronounce that one, but ano ba yung reduction? This is a Spanish policy provided the resettlement of Filipino communities to form town centers of cabeceras. Okay, so reduction is a Spanish policy. There you go. Next, kapag pen name, ano yung another term ng pen name? Isagot nyo doon is pseudonym, okay? Another term ng pen name is pseudonym. So a pen name is a name the writer uses instead of their own, So, for example, kapag writer ako, I will not use Jenny dapat as the author. I can use something else, It's the same for example, movie actors or actresses. They don't really use their real name, right? Meron silang tinatawag na screen name. So same for writers, they also have their what we call the pen name, or in other terms, pseudonym. Okay? Next one. Okay. So ano ba yung benefits of scientific development and education? So sa education, dahil education siya, knowledge source, okay? Knowledge source. So here, the beneficial effects of scientific development on education is access to knowledge source. All right. So for example, if there are new inventions, so of course we get to learn more from that, right? It's a knowledge source. So kapag may bagong pangyayari with the scientific community, so yeah, it can be added to curriculums, pwedeng ituro natin. So pwedeng we can learn from that. So that's why, okay? Oh, by the way, I have a lecture with a final coaching, general science, sobrang helpful yun, and top-notcher siya. So you can check on my channel, general science with a top-notcher. You can check on that. Mas maganda yung explanation niya doon. All right. So, anyway, affluent middle-class families, kapag yan yung tanong, sagot natin, they are called ilustrados. Okay? I think dalawa yung letter L ko doon. Anyway, during Spain's rule of the Philippines, yung mga ilustrados belong to European educated middle-class Filipinos. Okay? So again, kapag sa tanong merong affluent middle-class family, sagot natin ay ilustrados. Okay? Here are some numbers of the ilustrados. Kapag yung tanong naman doon is not an ilustrado, that is Andres Bonifacio. Okay? Not an ilustrado, Andres Bonifacio. Next, anong tawag natin? Sa half of the celestial sphere, that is the hemisphere, okay? Half of the celestial sphere, that is the hemisphere. So here we have the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, right? So yung Tropic of Cancer, it's in the northern hemisphere. Yung Tropic of Capricorn naman, it's in the southern Philippines, at southern hemisphere. At yung Philippines is nandito siya. It's parang na split in half then, you know. But for most parts ng ating country is nasa northern hemisphere. Okay. So consume more than one type of animal or plant. Kapag nakita niyo to sa tanong, sagot natin is food web. Okay? Anyway, this might be the complete question. Since most organisms consume more than one type of animal or plant, the transfer of matter and energy intertwine into the food web. So, of course, hindi naman iisa lang talaga yung nakain natin. So, we eat plants and meat, right? And different kinds of meat. So, you know, there's like the intertwine na. So, tawag natin dyan is food web. I don't want you to confuse it with the food chain. So, ito yung, okay? Ito yung food chain. It's a cycle, right? Ito naman yung food web. It's okay, there's intertwine there, yung relationship nila. Okay? So that's the difference. I hope that is clear. Now, population increase, but yung food supply is hindi naman nag-i-increase. Sagot nyo is Malthusian. Okay? Malthusian. So ano ba yung Malthusian? It is a theory explained that the human population grows more rapidly than the food supply. So, naghihintay lang tayo ng hindi naman sana, actually hindi tayo naghihintay, but in the context, so until famines, wars, or disease reduces the population para maging even, right? So, tawag dyan is the Malthusian theory. So, kapag more increase yung human population, tapos hindi naman nag-increase yung food supply, sagot nyo ay Malthusian. Okay? Next one, kapag sa Egyptians, hieroglyphics, ano naman yung sa Filipinos? Sagot natin is alibata. Okay? Kapag Egyptians, hieroglyphics, yung sa Filipinos ay alibata. Actually, I'm remembering yung sa Chinese, but talagang nakalimutan ko. Hieroglyphics, yeah. Anyway, I will just maybe comment it kapag kapag maaalala ko, okay? And then, so alibata is the ancient Filipino alphabet used by our ancestors. The characters may symbolize a single letter or a syllable, okay? So Egyptian hieroglyphics, Filipino alibata. Look at my eyes. I'm so drowsy na. Okay. So anyway, let's proceed. Kapag meron dong toothpick, okay. Guys, nakadepende yun sa question, okay? Hindi naman sa, merong word na yan, eh, yan na yung isasagot mo, okay? So if it depends on the context on the question and then it fits dun sa choices, kapag nandiyan naman sa choices, then you pick that one, okay? So for example, yung bakit lumulutang yung toothpick? So it's because of surface tension. It's because of surface tension, okay? So surface tension could be defined as the property of the surface of a liquid that allows it to resist an external force. So sometimes hindi toothpick yung gagamitin, sometimes pins or yung lamok. Yung lamok daw is, yeah, lumulutang siya. So still, surface tension pa rin yung sagot. Okay? All right, the next. So carbon dioxide, yung plants, kailan sila nagre-release ng carbon dioxide? It's in the evening. Okay, nag-release ng yung plants ng carbon dioxide in the evening. So during the daytime, ito yon. Okay, they absorb carbon dioxide and then nagpapalabas sila ng oxygen. So yung tawag na, yan yung tinatawag nating photosynthesis, right? So I don't know why yung when I was a kid, I always wonder yung mga tao, umuutot sila. Nakaharap sila sa plants habang umuutot. It's because ina-absorb na yun ng plants. But that makes sense now. But anyway, during nighttime, it's the opposite naman. So during nighttime, they absorb oxygen, tapos nagpapalabas naman sila ng carbon dioxide. So tawag natin dyan ay respiration. So kapag yung tanong doon, kailan nagpapalabas ng carbon dioxide yung plants? It's in the evening, okay? But nagpapalabas ng oxygen, that's during daytime. Okay, so finally, we have this one. Ano ba yung polyglot? Sagot natin is linguist. Okay? Polyglot, sagot natin is linguist. So this is someone who can speak or use several different languages. So usually, yung example doon is si Dr. Jose Rizal. So he is a polyglot, you know? In other words, he is multilingual, kaya niya magsalita ng okay, iba-ibang lingwahe or linguist. Okay? So kapag may polyglot doon, answer is linguist. And that would be all. Thank you so much. I'll try my best. I'll try to fit in my time to create more content kasi malapit ng September. All right. So LPTs, be safe out there. Part of doing your best for the exam is taking care of yourself. Okay. So take care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally. God bless you all. Thank you so much. Bye.